Welcome back everyone. Today I bring you another WARNO ranked game. This one a little bit more, well, not up to date, but it hasn't been played like 2 weeks ago. Actually, it has been played yesterday. And as you can see, we are back on touhg, and I decided to play 24th, what is it even called? Infantry Division. So the American, it's not really a National Guard division because it's an infantry division with a National Guard reinforcement, I guess it's what you can call it. And I am going up against 5th Panzer, which is quite painful, because as we all know, 5th Panzer is one of the best divisions in the game right now, and 24th isn't. I've rated it somewhere, I think, in B tier. The thing is, I recently saw T-Man play it a little bit, and he came up with this, well, it's not really a strategy, it's really a kind of minor adjustment of removing the F-15C and just taking 2 cards off F4 fighters. When, as you saw, I did it as well. Because the F-15C with the Sparrows is just so bad. Like, it costs, I think I have commented on the Reddit about it recently a few times because it was a topic, or like it fit the topic. And I don't remember if I said it in the videos already, most likely I have, but it's like, it costs 20 points more than an SF-27, but it has less missiles, and all of its missiles are worse. But it has 10% more ECM, and it's like, well, normally you would say then it should cost more or less the same, maybe even 5 points less. But I can agree that, it should be, let's say it's just the same cost because it has 10% more ECM, and theoretically ECM is good if you are me, and ECM is just, the dice roll is never in your favor. But either way, like, it should be the same cost, but not 270 points. Well, then if you look at the F4, it costs something like 80 points less, but it has the same Sparrows. It has one more Sparrow. Sure, it has worse AIM-9s, and it has 20% less ECM, but for 80 points less, it's just so much more efficient at what it does that I think it's really worth it. And I also took one of the Chaparrals at double vet, so I replaced my one card of PVETs with another card of Chaparral, so that I can take one double vet and one no vet at all. Because a double vet Chaparral is an absolute monster, and can't be seeded. And I also built my deck super recon heavy, because that's what I always struggled with in this deck. I was just I always had the feeling that I'm just missing recon. And so I decided to go with a very light air type, so I only have the 2 Phantom cards and then the 2 Strike Eagles, and that's it. And then go like super heavy into the recon. Tank type is okay. I haven't taken the most, I think I have 2 slots still left in there or something. And the cards I have left, I have maxed out on the M1 IPs. The CEV is useful in infantry grinds, but I feel like, honestly, you don't even really need that help in infantry grinds, because mostly your problem is like the tanks that you're missing, like the tanks that can, like MBTs, not just fire support for the infantry, because you should have enough fire support for the infantry between like all of your 25,000 Bradleys. So I think this should be good. There is still the problem of me not being able to take the Jeep anymore, the Ito Jeep, which is pretty good. I decided that it's worth it if I replace it with the card of National Guard TOWs in the infantry tab. It's an okay substitute. It doesn't do the same damage, but it's a substitute in the sense of that it's also good stealthy ATGM spam. But let's see how it works out against 5th Panzer, which is, as I said, one of the best divisions in the whole game. I got the good side of touhg, but obviously with 5th Panzer having Fernspeer, I can't really contest Oscar, because I don't have anything airborne forward deployed. So I just start with 2 M150s, one for the far left flank and one for the center. Those are just giga value. It adds even more ATGM spam, and they are recon. They only have mediocre stealth, but good optics, and because of the ITO and the 50 kill, they can kind of hold for themselves very well and have a smoke as well and 1 armor, so like light arms can't just kill them off. They're just giga valuable, and you get 5 of them per card. I love them so much. They're so good. And then 2 additional ones, one for the left side of the town and one kind of in the back here. Because if you look at this, I can actually snipe at the reinforcement drone there, which is pretty good. Because, yeah, actually last video was also on 2 legs and also from this side. Yeah, I don't know why I just keep getting 2 legs over and over again. Don't ask me. But yeah, so once again, my enemy gets in here first. So that's why we do the defensive deployment here, so that we can then use the positions here and here to like push him back from this forest patch, establish complete control over this area, and then start pushing towards his back zone. Or rerouting towards Oscar, because that's why I'm starting with 2 recon helicopters. I want to see whether he puts something into Oscar. If he leaves it completely empty, like some people do, I could also buy some arrow rifles, for example, and quickly get into Oscar. Oh, fuck, are they actually called arrow rifles? No, I can't remember again. Oh, the helicopter infantry, that is. And yeah, well, then 1 Kiowa warrior for the right side as well, obviously. I was also hoping that because they have the Hydra rockets, I could maybe even snipe one of the Fernspeer if I'm lucky. I started with 2 commands because I thought that obviously it's not exactly a mirror match, but both divisions are like slower. Yeah, 5th Panzer has the Luxes as well, so they aren't even that slow. But still, I don't want to like fall behind in victory points too much early on, so 2 fast commands early on should be good. A wooden box said that if you spawn your command on the right hand side on the back road here, you actually get to this zone faster than if you spawn it in here. I mean, first of all, I trust him because it's Mr. Wooden Box. And second of all, yeah, that kind of makes sense because this road here kind of goes to the back and then up here again. And then for the deployment into the town itself, well, 2 snipers as well. So 1 sniper to the left-hand flank, 1 sniper to the right here. And then we can see here 1 of the double wedge chaparrals, as well as 2 stingers. The stingers going to the left and, well, it's not really the right, but kind of as far right as I can go to snipe maybe the early recon helicopters and other stuff. I don't really expect him to do anything else with helicopters early on with 5th Panzer because that would be weird. But also as some early air defense and to saturate the area. And yeah, the double wedge chaparral, Fire Team Dragons going to the right-hand side as well. For the city itself, I have 2 engineers and 1 engineer dragon, because I thought that he might also try to get into this town early with all of his high HP infantry squads. And 5th Panzer doesn't have like the best infantry, but they are decent infantry, and all the pioneers are high HP, so it would take some time to chew through them. Then touhg in the back there. Yeah, as I said, the 2 stingers. And military police going into the town as well, because I also have 2 of the National Guard fire teams. Because, I mean, that's just 2 more Bradleys for very cheap. The squads themselves aren't that good, but together with the military police, they're like okay-ish. Here, unfortunately, the Kiowa warrior only gets the Iltis. On the left-hand side, it doesn't even get the Iltis, but yeah, I also know that there is stuff coming to the left-hand side, so I just retreat the Kiowa and put it into the defensive position. He does have an Alouette, and he also bought in a Bopa, which was kind of weird, but also, weirdly enough, I would say it's actually not a bad idea, because it does actually put me in a pretty dangerous position here. But because I have Stinger, the Stinger instantly snipes the Alouette. Here I was afraid that his Luxes might just drive through and snipe my infantry in the trucks here early on, but the Luxes were rerouted to the far right, so that wasn't even that much of an issue. But I unload the infantry here early as well, so that I can use the Bradleys as early as possible. touhg here in a very defensive position, because I just was afraid that he would rush through the Luxes here, which he didn't do in the end. Leopard 1A5 coming up as well. A little bit dangerous because it has the max range gun, but you can see it doesn't one-shot the Bradleys, which is pretty helpful. But this one is now still very damaged, so I retreated because I want to keep it alive. I don't want to lose those units early on. The M150 shooting at the Lux and getting a kill, very nice. Obviously, Luxes will die to pretty much everything one shot. There's a Milan 2 here, pretty annoying because that can one-shot all of my stuff, definitely. But I smoke off the Bradley, and now there's the M2A1 Bradley here engaging, vetted up, also making the autocannon a lot better. And killed off the Milan 2, a very important kill early on. And there was actually nothing in the town itself, so all this infantry is kind of, well, useless, I guess. But yeah, obviously I couldn't know that. Leopard now engaging the Fireteam Dragon, but the Bradley is being already rerouted to engage it, and now there will be 4 ATGMs flying at him. And a bunch of autocannon fire, even though the autocannons all miss, and he retreats into the forest, so definitely a good idea by him. I was a bit slow on buying reinforcements, so you can see now I'm buying in 2 M1 IPs because I had enough points for that actually. Again, Leopard 1 hitting the M2 Bradley but not killing it, and the touhg actually did still hit him. But the Leopard 1A5 has enough armor to survive an ITO, and the National Guard Bradleys only have an ITO, which is the disadvantage of them. They have the reservist trait and the ITO, but for 60 points, that's still, like, very good in my opinion. Leopard 2A3 now coming in. Luke's here being very annoying, shooting up the Fireteam Law. That's why I'm also rerouting the Engineer Dragon, because I thought that I might be able to engage him here. There's a civilian here as well though, so those are really annoying because they shred infantry. And as I've said in one of the videos before already, I don't think they are per se a problem. The thing is that the divisions that get the good AA guns, the good total AA guns that now can't be targeted by ATGMs anymore and by tank guns, like by their kind of, we don't have that in the game, by their armor piercing shells, is that they are very survivable because they only can get hit by HE damage, and they do a lot of damage, but the divisions that get them are the divisions that are already very good, like 5th Panzer or 2nd Panzergren. So that's a bit weird. Now he brings in another Leopard 2A4C, so 2 heavy tanks here, and the Leopard 1A5, it's obviously not a heavy tank, but also a good tank. Well, the Fireteam Dragon didn't survive long. But I'm not too worried because, I mean, I have 2 of my own M1 IPs coming up. Also brought in an Apache because I wasn't sure whether I would be able to get him out of here, and I wasn't also sure how much he had in reserve there. So having an Apache up here as well was very useful for just the power projection of the Hellfire. The Bradleys are being repaired. And I mean, together with this, I will have 3 Bradleys, 2 M1 IPs, M150, Infantry touhg, and the Apache. So that's actually a lot of firepower that's coming in. I have also called in a touhg into the town, together with a sniper, to get some even more recon information. The Leopard 1A5 is still damaged actually, but that Switting has moved forward and is engaging the Apache, which is rather annoying. Bradley is doing good damage though. I mean, the Bradleys are pretty good counter to that. And here is Leopard 2A4C takes a nasty side shot from the M1 IP. That was very nice. Transport Panzer Fuchs also very annoying here, because it's just more ATGMs. The Marder instantly dies, so this is good because there's an ATGM taken out of the equation. The Fuchs misses. Also the M1 IP for some reason not engaging the Fuchs, even though it has a Milan 1, which is way more dangerous than a Panzer Grenadier at like 2000 meters or something. So no idea what's going on there. And here I decided to just buy him a Strike Eagle because, well, I mean, that's what you would want the Strike Eagle to go after, a bunch of heavy tanks. Unfortunately, he smokes off in time. And there's a Roland, but the Roland misses and removes itself after shooting, so I decided to just go in for the Roland instead. A bit weird in microing the Eagle here. The Roland 2 misses because it died, but it still stressed the Eagle enough, and then there was a second Roland coming in that also missed. Also Roland 2. So I think, like, Roland 2s are good, but you really need to have them up in pairs, so this was this mistake. And the Eagle wasn't hit, it was force retreated, but it wasn't hit, so it means that it will come back rather quick. And I just instantly buy in a second Strike Eagle because, I mean, I know that one Roland is up, but one Roland 2 is like not that bad. And then I instantly proceed to just miss-micro it because I haven't played this division in such a long time that I forgot how quick the Strike Eagle is to get to the front line. I thought it would take a lot longer to get there, but it wasn't. So yeah, I was again lucky that the Roland 2 didn't hit. But I mean, 40% ECM on the other hand, so, you know, it's kind of expected for it to not die instantly. And get a nice kill on the Leopard 2A3, spot another Leopard 2A3, go in for a second run on the Leopard 2A3, and get another nice hit. Roland 2 misses again. I'm not sure whether he was moving it here, because it might have just gotten out of range and because the missile kind of veered off. So there might have actually been a mistake by him, but not completely sure. aircraft troopers is what the helicopter infantry is called now, as you can see. So now 2 heavy tanks killed, which is very, very bad for him. Because that's, I mean, they have been cheaper now, but that's almost 2 minutes of income deleted instantly. Tortu in the town got hit quite heavily by his tanks, so I had to retreat it. And the Bradley here dies to the Lukes. That's like the one time in my whole life that I saw the German 20mm actually do any damage. Which, by the way, also one reason why I think that straight up nerfing autocannon accuracy is like not that good, because look at this, it's not even close to max range engagement. Let's look at that. It's like 1000 meters, and here it got 1 hit out of 2 volleys. Like, that's not that great. What should really just be nerfed is like the accuracy scaling with veterancy, because that's what's broken. And then, like, yeah, autocannons need to be differentiated a bit more. I feel like, but, well, either way, the Lukes dies. Losing 1 Bradley is definitely painful, but manageable, especially because with the killing 2 of the Leopards here was so valuable. And I don't know exactly what he was doing, because obviously he watched the Skific tutorial, because he's heavily attacking through here and trying to get control of this forest patch, but he lost the control, and he's like almost only calling in tanks against a division that has the best LGB bomber in the whole game, and only has very minimal AA, and like isn't investing into a lot of fire support in with the Marders, because that's what makes the division actually strong. It's not like the Leopards are good, and I mean, some people will obviously always cope and say that the Leopards is like the greatest tank in the whole game. It is very good, but on its own, it's not going to win you the game. You still need the fire support. Here that was so unlucky that the Roland 2, sorry, that the Roland 2 drove out of line of sight like a second before. So the Striker Eagle now got hit fairly heavily. Did still survive, but I mean, again, with 40% ECM against a Roland 2, that's kind of fair. I mean, the first one dodging like 3 missiles was, or like 2 missiles, because the second one was after the Roland 2 died, so that's fair. But the other 2 missing was slightly unlucky. Here, I mean, I feel like, again, it's kind of fair for 40% ECM to, you know, survive that while being hit heavily. Yeah, well, Leopard 1A5, unless it gets a side strike against the M1IP, it obviously stands no chance. But with 3 of them, I still felt a bit overwhelmed, and I still obviously knew that there's a Leopard 2A4C in the forest here, so it was a very good choice by me to retreat to the M1IP and smoke it off, because he was instantly poking it out again. So, honestly, decent micro by him as well. Apache, again, being shot at by a stupid Zwilling. Does get a hit, though, on the Leopard 2A4 with its Hellfire at, like, being fully stressed and being reservist, so it already has lower accuracy, so no idea what was going on there. Leopard 1 gets killed by a touhg though, because they do die to a touhg one-shot, they just survive an ITO. Infantry here is now slowly moving forward, because I also see that he is trying to get in here with like 1 Sicherungs, but like 1 Sicherungs is not enough to get through here. Gepard, very problematic for my helicopters, instantly land them, but the Gepard is now also massively overstretching and dying to the M1IPs. Also more reinforcements coming in. I also have bought in artillery at this point in time now, finally. Trying to counter battery his mortar here, because those are smoking me off here in this area, and this is honestly pretty annoying. F4 comes in, misses this first, how's it called, the Maverick. I mean, it's the B Maverick, so you kind of expect one of them to miss, but obviously still unlucky for him, because killing off the M1IP would have been rather useful to him. On the other hand, though, a second one is already coming in, also called in the Phantom, and you know, I can do that because it's only 185 points and not 270 points. So yeah, it's 85 points less than F-15. And now I just keep it circling in the back. And at long range, I mean, it literally has like the same quote-unquote damage output like an F-15. It has the same sparrows, which is dumb, because missile accuracy should be tied to like the weapon's platform and not the weapon itself. An F-15, like using AMRAAMs, not AMRAAMs, sorry, sparrows in F-15 is not the same as using sparrows in an F-4. But, oh well. I don't think that will ever happen, at least not in the near future. Maybe they will rework it at some point. Like, you have to be fair, Eugen has showed in the past that they are pretty like open to reworking the systems that they have implemented in their games. It just can't take very long. And yeah, well, all the infantry is being repositioned into this part of the town to then attack up into the forest line here. Bought in some Jäger-Aufklärer. The M113 got instantly sniped though, and I really don't think the M113 is worth it because I think it's 25 points and it doesn't even get the 50 cal. So yeah, Jäger-Aufklärer now also being fire supported down by 3 M1 IPs. So this one straight up didn't have a good time. You can also see the aircraft troopers did get into the forest patch here and capture the supply truck. That was pretty nice. See the Mörser, the Panzer Mörser again. I kind of didn't want to waste my my barrage on the Sicherungsziel, and I knew that the Panzer Mörser wouldn't be moving, so I decided to go for it. Lost line of sight on the Leopard 2A3 and tried to attack ground, but I know that the attack ground is like bugged. I still tried it for the LGBs, and they missed the Leopard, but I somehow like went and got a kill on the Iltises there. Well, not somehow, it was just an accident that they scattered directly onto the Iltises. They were empty, but still 40 points that he lost. And they got hit and retreated, so that was rather annoying, but I knew that it's bugged. Like, attack ground with LGBs doesn't work. I just wanted to see whether it's still bugged, and yeah, well, fun fact, it's still bugged. Leopard 2A4 here drove in the open, and I started to retreat the Abrams, but then I thought, you know what? Oh no, now I started retreating them because I was afraid of engaging the Leopard 2A4. But then I decided, you know what? Fuck it. It's super stunned out from the National Guard TOW. I always want to call it an ITOW. It's a TOW, not an ITOW. And it's 3v1. Like, that's an engagement that is honestly pretty good for me. M1 IPs aren't the best, but 3v1 should be fine, even though this one is a little bit further back than the other ones. But it still should be okay. So, 1, 2, one hitting, the other one missing. A little bit annoying, but it stuns the Leopard 2A4C, so that's fine. Also getting hit by an ATGM from the left. But I get an ammo explosion crit on one of the Leopard 2A4Cs, and then he pushes in the other one, which was super low HP, and loses it as well. While I haven't lost a single tank, and he surrenders. And so I thought that, you know what, yeah, cool game. And then I looked at the KD, and Jesus fucking Christ, man. This is, I think, the best KD I have ever gotten in my whole life. Like, look at this. It was honestly insane, and also, yeah, fair that he tapped out. And my enemy, like, yeah, well, not the best player, but around rank 300 is like a decent player. And playing 5th Panzer, you know, instantly puts it like 100 or 200 ranks up, because 5th Panzer is just very, very good. But this KD was just, this was just insane. The problem here is, do not just spam tanks, like medium to heavy tanks, against 24th. Like, that's my whole advantage. I have strike eagles. Or, like, rather don't spam them without also spamming pretty much 1-to-1 as much air defense. Like, honestly, for every Leopard 2A4C you buy, just buy another Roland. It will be worth it against the strike eagles. Because the strike eagle is still worth more than a single tank, but if I get 2 of them, it's instantly worth it. And this M1 IP just wrecked his ass. Also, it was so unnecessary of him to push in the Leopard 2A4C that was at like 3 HP or something, or 4 HP. That really just broke his back. He was already, obviously, massively on the back foot, but this was just incredibly unnecessary. Yeah, the second strike eagle didn't even get a single kill, I think. Yeah, well, lol, okay. That's funny. Oh no, it did get a Roland too. I'm blind. Yeah, this one didn't pay itself off, but this one absolutely did. And yeah, it just made it impossible for him to establish any control over the map. And that was also just mostly due to him exclusively spamming those tanks. Like, there was this one Marder here, and I think that's it with Marders. Even though that would have made my life so much harder, just for the M1 IPs on their own. Like, the Bradleys, obviously, they don't really care about that, because the Bradleys straight up outrange the Marders, and they should also one-shot them, I think. Yeah, they definitely one-shot them with all of their ATGMs. The National Guard Bradleys as well. But it would absolutely have helped him against the M1 IPs. Well, if you look at this one alone, yeah, they were very much wrecking him. Other than that, I mean, this Bradley here performed also well too. And I mean, the touhg got a leopard and a marder, but I mean, the touhg is so expensive that this one, I mean, it paid itself off, but it's not like a super massive kill list, actually. But if you look at the game, it's basically I won it with one M1 IP and one strike eagle. Well, both strike eagles, let's say it like that. But yeah, on his side, he killed one fire team and Ashton got Bradley in a touhg, and that was literally it. So don't get baited by the people telling you that Leopard 2s are like super broken and OP and the strongest unit in the whole game. Like, they are very strong and very good, but you can't just win with them on their own. Especially not against a division that like has the tools to deal with them. Because that's also one of the advantages of the Marder, obviously. Going for a Marder with a Strike Eagle is so much riskier and worth so much less than going for a Leopard 2. But yeah, well, he did try, and his strategy initially was sound, but just then kind of really fell apart. And yeah, I thought it was just a funny game. And as I said, I think this is unironically the best KD I've ever gotten in a game that actually went, longer than, I don't know, 5 seconds. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and hope to see you in the next one, which most likely will be a little bit longer again. But let's see. Until then, have a beautiful day, and bye-bye.